Hey, playing Satisfactory, and just wanted to show off this little drone hub that I did. So basically, what I've done, I'll show you. Why is this? I don't know. It's probably just loading. Um, I'll clear up. Basically, all the things for the fuse modular frames that I need. These three things. Um, I don't need fuel, but the aluminum casing and the heavy cubes are being transported here. And then I also have a thing giving fuel for these two guys as well. And so just want to look at, uh, I guess, show off how I did that. Um, so obviously I just got the setup here, the nitrogen gas going in, um, and then my blender right here. But we'll start from over here. So basically, the drones come in, they put the items here, right? But they put in way more items than what this system needs. Um, and so it would get backed up uh, pretty much instantly if I didn't do anything about it. So this is what I did. This is a programmable splitter. I'm pretty sure it needs to be programmable. Um, because the smart splitter can only do like, um, well, I guess it could be a smart splitter. But anyways, I think you can do any undefined right here, and it would basically be the same thing. But anyway, so what I did is stuff comes out here. There's three things that can come out here, right? Because I got three things going here. I got aluminum casing, fuel, and heavy cubes. And so the way I did it is that aluminum casing and heavy cubes are the only things that are going into these drone ports. Nothing else is going into the other ones across the map. Um, so where is this? I have one right here. There's my fuel. And I have a plastic one right there. It's kind of hard to see, but there's my plastic one. So that transports all my plastics made here, and then that goes to wherever I need plastic. Um, and then basically my cubes, where are they? The main hub. So there's my heavy cubes right here. So I make heavy cubes kind of where my main base is. So those get transported to wherever I need to. And then right here, this is my aluminum casing. So basically these two factories, I just have one going from the heavy cubes to here. So just one going this way, and then I have a whole nother hub going here. And then I have one for my fuel going here. So fuel, the casings, and the heavy frames are the only items that get put here. So what I did is the packaged fuel goes one way, and then the other items go um, this way. So I'll start with the fuel first. So how do I get the fuel? So basically, I didn't want to transport um, I didn't want to make fuel or transport plastic here and then make the fuel and then put it into the system. I just wanted a drone to do that for me. So I just, where I make plastic, I can also make a bunch of fuel. So I just did that. So what I did was put a merger here. Don't worry about the merger. We'll worry about that. That's the last part. So it goes here, right? It goes through this, and it goes to this smart splitter. How is this programmed? So the center output goes forward. The left is the overflow, and then I don't have a right input. So this needs the fuel, so it goes into the drone hub, and then once that gets backed up, then the overflow goes to the left input. So that goes right here, and that goes to another smart splitter. All right, how's this one get split up? The exact same thing, right? So I split it off so I can go to this one, and then I split it off again um, for these two things. So we'll go here. So what is this system? So this is basically just so it's um, full. Um, you don't for the fuel especially. You don't probably even need these. To be honest with you, but this is basically just so like if I do other like drone hubs in the future, right? And I just in one drone hub, um, there's only one drone can be at a port at the same time. So only one drone per hub. And so basically, the aluminum casing one, the heavy cubes, and well, just these two, because the main hub and my plastic one are both fueled. But basically, these two ones that are just transporting the raw material, they need fuel, and I can only one drone can deliver fuel to all these locations. And so basically, what you need is if it was just on the line, it might use up all the fuel. So this basically just future proofs it, so I could literally have a drone delivering fuel to literally every single hub I could um ever ever do in the future, but it's going to take forever because it's literally like this one thing does how much fuel per minute? Like 20. So like this is literally never gonna run out, right? So there's a little buffer zone. So if it takes long for it to deliver all of its routes, then it could use this and then they could do one big lump sum and fill it back up again. So that's why that's like that. Anyway, so basically, smart splitter going into that, and then I have it. Where is it going? Going all the way up here, and it's merging right here. And then it's just going back into the system. Now, what would happen if and it's important to do that because this is how all this gets backed up is by that loop. So you need to put it back into the system because then if you don't put this connection, then it's just going to stay in these containers and it has to go into the pod. So that's how you take all this overflow and put it back into the pod. Okay. So the only other thing is this left input, okay? So this left input goes right into the awesome sync. So if I ever get absolutely backed up for whatever reason with fuel, and it looks like that might happen soon. I don't know. These haven't been running for that terribly long. Let's see. I mean, there's a couple drones. There's my fuel drone right there. And so I don't know it shouldn't get backed up. So basically, it might have to wait for this to empty, but once it's empty enough, it should go in, and then if there's too much fuel, it will all empty into here, right? So it's never just going to be sitting here waiting to empty full because it's going to get empty because of this. This looks like it's backed up. This isn't moving. This should be moving. Uh-oh. Right. That is stopped. Okay, okay, well we can figure this out in real time. These go here. Oh, see that? Okay, so this isn't programmed. Alright, so we'll do this in, so I know it's wrong, so we'll do this in real time, okay? So that was the fuel, so I just kind of explained the fuel. Goes in here, overflow, it wraps around itself. If that ever gets overflowed, so this, is backed up, then we just go left, right? Into the heat, into the awesome sink. And so the fuel's constantly going to be going, so it's going to be able to dump fuel in here all the time. Okay, now the other parts. So don't worry about the merger yet. It goes into here. This splits it off into that. The overflow goes this way. And then I did this kind of weird. You don't need to do any of this. I did this kind of like in a weird way. But basically, this is just the same as going into all of that. So basically, this splitter right here just puts it into the containers. And this does the exact same thing. But you don't need to do this. I have another design in Blueprint. I'm going to show you, and it's a lot better. But basically, what happens is everything gets put into here on this line right here, and then this is where I messed up. So the right output is the overflow, but there is no right output. So it's based off this little difference in color right here. So the merger, this is the only input, or this is a splitter. So the splitter, this is the only input there. So there's 3 outputs. The input is where you stand, right? So that's left, that's right, and that's forward. And so basically I did that wrong. So if I do this, and I put that to overflow, then it's going to start going. See that? And then now these are getting deleted, basically, which sounds bad, and I guess it kind of is, but also I have this. But this is not filled up. Maybe it's gonna get filled up. No, it's emptying. I might have to rethink this real quick. Because I kind of need those, huh? Okay, we'll do that for now. How to do this? This goes back into the system. This merge. That's the merge. Merge goes. back into the system. Basically, do I need to do... Okay. Yeah, I'm a little confused. What I need to do? But this system's overly complex. That's a lot of materials. This... all that gets sucked into this line. This needs to hit the main line. Right, it needs to feed back into the system. This basically needs to go here. So right here. Needs to be in that line. So center output needs to be overflow. So this needs to go be the one that connects to that. Something like that, right? Not sure this is gonna work. Let's see though. Okay, so that's flowing. Heavy module, heavy. Where are they? Now, these are absolutely full, right? So that makes sense that these are getting sunk because look how full these are, right? I'm good. And then these should be filling up. I don't see any of those cubes, right? So we're not getting any more. So no more cubes are entering the system. Okay, so that fixed it. That fixed it. So basically, that doesn't matter. Okay. Now I'm gonna, and that should just work. And then this just stays the same. Yep. And then basically I have enough If I wanted to put any more aluminum casings to another drone port, then obviously I'm making more than enough. And I have room to do that. Just a little bit of a buffer. So let me show you my blueprint for this, because this is like, I made all this, and I was like, oh, this is really complicated. I'm gonna make a blueprint for it, so I don't have to put any of this, I don't have to figure out all this. So basically, all of this, the storage, the awesome sink, all this storage, all these wires, basically I made it into a blueprint. It even fits the drone hub. So let me show you that real quick. And here it is, the drone hub refueler. So this is my blueprint. We'll do that, that's fine. So this is my blueprint. So a little different, a little less storage than the last one, but you don't really need that much. I mean, I guess you could add storage like off-site, but like if I want to do something and like add a bunch real quick for more storage, all I would have to do is just split this off. I would have to just do something like this, right? So that basically works. And then I know that kind of looks dumb, but basically that's the same thing, right? So basically I could do it and I can just expand the storage as long as I want. So I wasn't really too concerned with doing that because that's pretty easy to do. But it's kind of unnecessary too. So I wanted to go through this and show you what I did with this. And then okay. So basically a little bit more compact, but basically everything's here. And it's more future-proof too. So we'll just go through it again, and it's all programmed too. So but basically stuff comes out here, it gets sorted. So stand right here at the right side, package fuel, and then so we'll do the fuel first again. Goes over here, smart splitter. Right, how that works. Smart splitters. Is it overflow? I did overflow. I just did any. Maybe I should change it to overflow. Okay, so that's overflow. Goes here, goes in here. 2 storage containers, so wrapped around. Goes here into this one. And this is where it goes to the awesome sink. So the left is going to go back into the system, right? So this is how it gets into this just makes it so the excess, once it's all filled up in storage, it can come back in here, right? Yes, so that's what that one does. And then the other one, the center one, is that center or right? Center doesn't mean anything. It could be none because there's nothing in the center. And then if that gets backed up, so it goes here. If that gets backed up, then it goes up here. to the awesome sink, right? And it's already hooked up to power it too, so you just gotta power it. But yeah, basically that just hooks up to this power sink. So basically it's the same thing, just a little bit more compact, and then it's the same thing on here, but it's a little different. So it's the same thing. So it goes here. All right, and we'll go this way. So the left is anything, and it can be any defined because the only things that are going into this port are the things that I need. So there's nothing, I don't need to, actually probably don't even need to program splitter because of that, but basically, any defined works because the fuel goes that way, and then anything else is going to go into the system. So it goes into this merger, and then this merger goes into this splitter, and we'll get back to this. This is the awesome sync merger, okay? So this just gets all into the awesome sync. So we'll look at that in a little bit. So it goes here, right? And then the left output. So this is this program. So any just means whatever one I want to put in, whatever I want to put into this thing. So just for purposes, okay, we'll just do adaptive control units, right? So this is going to go into the adaptive control unit spot on whatever machine I'm working on, right? And then the center output is any undefined, and then overflows here. So basically, this splitter has 3 outputs, right? 1, 2, 3. This one, the right one, is going to go to storage and overflow. The second one is going to go into this other splitter, because what I wanted to do is, with the assembly, I might need 4 parts, right? So I need 4 outputs for my splitter. So 1 output right here for this one, and then here's the other one, right? And so this is any undefined. So this is all my crafting stuff. So basically, but I can put anything here. So I can put, I don't think this is a recipe, but I can put, this is for all this stuff right here, right? So these just go to the machine. So this one, and then, so this whole splitter goes to the machine, and then this one can go to the machine. And if I don't, it's only 3 things, and I just, I put none. And then it's only 3 machine thing. So that's how that works. And then it's basically the same thing, but definitely simpler. So in my other one, this is what I figured out, was this whole system is completely redundant. Literally just goes from this to this. That's literally all I'm doing. So literally all these 4 things could be taken away, and I could just go from this spot to this spot. That's literally all I'm doing. That's literally it. Basically, like these 2 right here, so that one, how it's getting split off and split off, you don't need to do that. You don't need to split it off to go into the storage. So basically, you don't need to split it off because, well, here, I'll show you why. Because look at this. It's gonna go all right here, right? So it's gonna go up here, and this is my stuff. So this actually needs to be right. So anything that comes in here needs to go right. And only when it overflows does it go this way, right? So only when this thing gets backed up will it go to the awesome sink. So everything else that goes through the system is going to come back around, and it's going to merge right back into the system. So it's going to loop. So it's going to loop until this thing fills up. Once this thing fills up, then it's going to go up here into the awesome sink. So basically, it just simplifies it a whole lot. So you don't need to split them off individually and figure it all out. It doesn't matter. But yeah, here's my fuel. Fuel's going in. And then it used some, so it's filling it up again. So it's filling up. Alright, so that's filled up. That's filled up. So what's going to happen now is it's going to sink it. It's going to sink it. Because now I have too much. But so I'm making more fuel than this thing's pulling in, but I mean that makes sense because this thing doesn't cost that much, but if you scale up you're gonna want like a buffer like this. Just so you don't run out on the belt line. But basically this whole system right here, this whole thing right here, really all that could literally just fit right here. It's the same thing. I mean, I even put the drone hub in the blueprint. So all I have to do now is like put a machine down like this, and then using my programmable items, right? Oh, okay. It wouldn't be like that. It would be like this. I mean, this isn't really how I would do it necessarily, but it's just like to show. So literally, I place that down, place the machine down, boom, and now I'm just making stuff. I place it down, and then literally just draw lines into the machine that I want, or you know, do a manifold system where it goes in a line, and all the stuff goes right here, and I could do more, you know, smart splitters all the way down. So this could just all merge into one thing. So what I could do is something like this. Right, so this, I merged them all. And I know this doesn't look pretty, it's just kind of the, again, so they're all merged on the one line now, right? And then what I could do, since it is 4 items, now I think you're going to need a programmable splitter. I think let's do this real quick. Okay. So I brought this thing back up. Like this. And connect that. Then, right, I could do something like, oh, that's one thing that goes into there. And then I think it's just like this. You do one per. Oops. I think that's how you would do this. I know that doesn't look great. Basically, well, maybe you don't need a programmable one. That's too short. Maybe you just need a smart splitter. Right, and so 4 items will go here. And then the left output would be, what, like this thing, right? And then anything undefined. Boom, and then it goes down, right? And then if this got backed up, right? Say this got backed up. What you do is you do overflow too. I haven't tested any of this. I'm just thinking out loud. So basically, it would just go down the line, and it would just keep going down the line. So if this got backed up and it was overflow, it would go down this. This line got backed up, overflow would keep going. It would just keep all going the overflow. And then basically you could just do storage like how I did over here. And then you can always just wrap it into itself again. So all that storage could literally come back into this loop, and this will merge it right back onto the line. And then after all the storage, you can sync it. Or you could put it even all back into this thing or whatever. I think you could even, what you might even could do is put it back into the drone thing. I haven't really experimented with that. I haven't done a lot of this, but this is just basically thinking out loud like what you could do with this and how easy it is to do that. I know this isn't look super great, but this is the manifold system that you can just program, and so it's pretty easy. And then here, let me just clear all that up. Oops. Do that. And that's all taken care of. Oops. Okay. And then you can delete the whole blueprint at once if you wanted to, which is very, very nice. Actually, I probably need to go back into the blueprint editor and fix that stuff. What am I doing? Okay. Because something was messed up, right? I think, I don't know. A couple things I need to change, but basically I just wanted to shut it off. And I mean, it is working. All these ports are working, and so this right here, it's like that because it's just taking time to unload everything. So that just means it's been loaded. And then, well, maybe we can just go to it real quick and I can show you. Basically, it needs to take time to sync these the items because it's full. So that's why it's like that, but it definitely is working. but we'll just go check it out to be 100%. Okay. So yeah, that's where I made it. That blueprint factory. So this is it. Oh, did he already get taken care of? Like before we could even get there, it was taken care of. So basically, yeah, this stuff just had to get synced. It's got no fuel. Should have fuel. That's not my fuel. That's weird. Um, with this port, and then okay. For some reason, I just didn't have the fuel lined up. That was kind of weird. Docking. Okay, here it is, right here. Right? No fuel. That's weird. The double check that. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. But yeah, thanks for watching.